to the people who have deleted all their social media accounts. Except Reddit. How has your life changed for better or worse, and do you miss it? I honestly don't miss them at all. I feel a lot more free. I feel less anxious. Definitely. Being free from social media and not constantly comparing yourself to others while browsing top 0.01% of other people's lives is so liberating. I tried checking back in recently and felt so anxious that I deleted my accounts instead of just the apps. Reddit shouldn't be called social media 'cause it's completely different. Reddit is fueled by comedy and curiosity. I deleted all of my social media in my sophomore year of high school. I felt really free. Social media really takes a jab at my mental health. I didn't discover Reddit for 7 long years. But in that time I started reintegration into social media to a degree. I tried Instagram, but it started to weigh on me. I just recently set up a LinkedIn and a professional Facebook, but I have to set clear boundaries with myself. I don't know why, but Reddit doesn't trigger me as much, even though the community is just overflowing with incredible people who I could never compare to in any meaningful way. I just don't find myself trying to measure my life next to others. Maybe it's the feeling of anonymity Reddit allows you. Wish I'd switched to Reddit sooner. In hindsight, Instagram didn't have the best influence on me at all. Did myself a favor by being on Reddit full time. I have an Instagram, but I think it depends on how you use it. I don't follow influencers and only use it for art purposes. To see people's creations or post my own. It is really a lot more healthy using it as an art app rather than as a social media app. It's a lot more peaceful, and I'm actually much happier now. I would miss them, except tons of people on Reddit feel compelled to share the really stupid, distorted thing they saw on Twitter or FB. They think they are ridiculing it. Meanwhile, they're just amplifying it. And you learn a lot more on Reddit. Win-win overall. It just feels good being on Reddit. I love Reddit. Best choice of my life. After 10 years of being a heavy Facebook user, I started slowly backing off in 2018. I disabled it a couple of times, and then when I was ready, I downloaded all the content and actually got one of those books made. It was pretty cool, and just deleted it. Best decision I'd ever made. Sad, but I didn't miss it. I've recently moved away from my family, so I got an IG and a Facebook to share pictures in. That's pretty much the only time I'm on either. Every time I get on Facebook for longer than a few seconds, I just get so angry at the stupidity. Not like I'm super smart or anything, but just the way people flaunt their stupidity makes me so angry. I gave everything up except Instagram. But leaving FB and Twitter a few years back was liberating. Instagram is sadly turning into Facebook in my opinion. People used to just post photos and move along. It's slowly been shifting to the same dumb mess I left Facebook for. Gave up Twitter a few years ago. Feeling much better now. But it did sensitize me to trolls. So the few I run into here get deleted oh so quickly. From skills learned on the Twitter, watch strangers overreact to the news. Facebook, watch your friends pretend life is better than it is. Insta, watch strangers pretend life is better than it is. LinkedIn, watch former coworkers pretend they know how business should operate. Reddit, anonymous people chatting normally with anonymous people. Chatting normally. You must be new here. Define normally. I deleted Instagram around 4 weeks ago and I have not felt more at peace. I was not that active anyway, but Instagram is one toxic social media platform. I think it's great, although if you don't use it properly, it's definitely easy to get flooded with toxic BS. I think it depends on who you follow, and you have the ability to unfollow those people just as easily as you chose to follow them. In full disclosure, I haven't deleted my accounts, but removed the apps from my phone so I never go on them. My mental health has improved drastically. I don't waste hours mindlessly scrolling, and I don't get caught up in friend or family drama. The impetus for deleting my accounts was several toxic family members posting things to get attention or to passive-aggressively start arguments. It took so much mental energy seeing that all the time, and was also an easy out for me to, truthfully, say I didn't see these posts. I deleted SM right before COVID, and I'm so thankful. With everything going on with the pandemic and the growing anti-racism movement, I am so glad I don't have to look at ignorant posts. COVID is a government conspiracy. All lives matter, etc. The drawback is how much people rely on social media to share important news. I've missed some big things that have happened in friends' lives, deaths in the family, for example, or party invitations, posted solely on FB, and they're surprised, offended when I don't know. I posted on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's unfortunate that people don't reach out to people directly anymore. I actually feel fantastic, so much lighter or something. I actually didn't realize how draining they all were until I deleted them either. And with Reddit, I've set a timer so I don't end up sucked in or using it as a replacement. I've just gotten into the habit of using it for finding out information or talking to people about hobbies I have. So, I've kinda changed how I use this too. But yeah, it's been so good for my mental health and don't miss it at all. I am now a no drama llama, and it's wonderful. The same person says no drama llama like some minimalist bee while being named cumblast_9000. It was hard at first, but now I honestly don't even miss it. The constant urge to check for notifications has faded away too. I quit social media 2012 and never looked back. It's just a spam feed tbh. Worst part about social media is people debating online with people they don't know. Who the F cares? I work with teenagers and observe sometimes how obsessed they are with getting likes and how they value themselves and others based on how many likes followers there are. I feel sorry for them growing up like this. I think social media is bad for society. I believe it changed my life in a positive way. There is no more comparing yourself to others. A lot of people try to flex online when their life is actually boring or all their materialistic items are purchased on credit. Without social media, you're more likely to focus on yourself, not to mention the wasted time spent endlessly scrolling. Well, I am actually very happy that I left both Instagram and Facebook long ago. Although I still use Twitter as it provides latest info and some key instincts on various topics. Instagram and Facebook are kind of a show-off place, and it makes you want unnecessary things just for the sake of likes and followers. So I would not recommend using both the sites as it affects your mental health, so FCK bad that you'll end up feeling left out or depressed. Although Twitter also has lots of negativity, but if you are able to keep yourself away from the political debates, then Twitter is very informative. Honestly, one of the best decisions I made. People even tend to be shocked I 20F don't have social media. Has it affected your dating at all? When I 22M was 20, people didn't want to date at all due to lack of SM. I deleted my Facebook in January 2011 when I was 19. And so for all of my 20s I haven't really had a peer group to compare myself to online. I'll try to give a nuanced picture of this instead of just being like, I feel great. Social media is bad. I think the pros of this situation are that I don't make FOMO-based decisions, because I have no real sense of what I'm missing out on. I don't compare my life to other people, so I can identify my own wants and needs in a genuine way. I can prioritize the relationships that matter in my life because I'm not awash in data about acquaintances, celebrities, etc. I have no pressure to perform my life for anyone else. I can just live it for me. The cons include that I've probably been isolated in certain ways. Or maybe I'm not being exposed to opportunities that I would be otherwise if I were a more accessible part of social networks. I do have to make more of an effort to keep up with specific people. And maybe having more comparisons or competition would be good in some ways in terms of motivation, inspiration, or ambition. I feel excluded from certain cultural movements or dialogue, especially with so much of culture being crowdsourced on social media. In some ways I'm opting out of being able to create or contribute anything to those spheres. I think the reason I ultimately stay away from social media is because it can be positive experience for positive people, for people who see it as a valuable tool for change, connection, making friends, making improvements, sharing joy, building other people up. It's great to be part of a network that may enhance that, especially because people emulate what they are surrounded by, and the internet is for connecting people who otherwise wouldn't be connected. But it can also amplify negativity. And deep down, I am a cynical person, an anxious person, and a chronically dissatisfied person. And that would color my experience with social media. I am pessimistic, and so my view on social media is more likely to be colored by pessimism. Opting out is acknowledging that aspect of myself. Social media is bad for me, because I'm more likely to cultivate a negative experience for myself. It's extremely liberating, especially at first. And now I just honestly forget that social media exists until somebody tells me they saw something on Facebook. The main benefit of not having socials is you no longer have that fear of missing out and don't spend unnecessary time lurking profiles of people you barely know and don't care at all about. In hindsight, that's the biggest drawback, time waster of social media. It's one thing to follow friends and people you care about, or even celebrities, influencers who motivate and inspire you. But all those hundreds of friends you accumulate over the years who you met once and maybe have a couple of friends in common are just useless noise. If you've had Facebook for a while and are thinking of deleting it, I highly recommend spending some time going through old photos and downloading, saving the ones you like. I did that and I'm so glad I did. I don't miss it. In fact, I feel like the haze has been lifted from my eyes. I spend more time outside and doing things with my kids. I read more, watch more things that I enjoy. I've picked up a couple more hobbies. I'm also less stressed and less depressed. Whether you think you do or not, you compare your life against those around you. And when you're constantly a bias on social media, well, it will make you miserable. Honestly, I get rid of the grass is greener over there syndrome. Also, the feeling of missing out is gone.